Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel. About a month ago I bought a hydroponic system. It's called Growell and it's for an indoor garden. If you have not seen that video, check out that video. I show you the whole system, how to plant the seeds, and in this video I show the progress of the growth. So it's been 4 weeks and I got some plants growing, so let's check it out. Okay, so we are 1 week in. Let's see what we got growing. So some of the plants still have the domes covered because they're not germinating just yet, but the fastest ones so far are the cherry tomatoes. So within 7 days, it's already grown this big. And then in the back here, we have the lemon balm starting to peek through, and the sage and the basil. That one's almost coming through here. And a little bit of the lettuce. So we'll just give the rest of these a little more time and hopefully they do well. Okay, so we are on week 2, so I'm just cleaning out the tank. And I'll show you the herbs here in a second. So here are the herbs, and you can see some of the roots starting to grow out from underneath. This one specifically is the cherry tomatoes. And you can see the roots right there. And then other ones have shorter roots. This is the basil that's coming up. And you can see the roots kind of poking out. Okay, so it's back in its spot. But as you can see, in 2 weeks, the cherry tomatoes here have come up. And also the basil has popped through. The sage has. The lemon balm is. And the peppermint, it's starting. You can see that little green in there. So that's coming up. The lettuce as well is starting. I haven't seen anything with the spinach yet. You can still see the seeds there, so I'm not sure how well that's going to do. And same with the peas. Nothing's coming up in those either. But the sweet peppers, that popped through. And the strawberries, I'm kind of unsure. You can still see the red seeds in there, but then you can also see a little green poking through. So we'll see how well that does. So not bad for only 2 weeks. So now we're on week 4. I did end up taking out the spinach and the peas because they just were not growing at all. So it must have been a problem with the seeds. And with the peppermint, it is starting to grow a little bit better. There is some new growth underneath there. I ended up adding a little bit more of the seeds to help. So that was probably my fault that I just didn't add enough seeds, because the peppermint seeds, they're like little tiny specks of dust. So I might have just not have put enough in. The strawberries, they're still growing a little bit slowly, but everything else has like grown like weeds, only they're not weeds. So here we have the tomato plant. That's our lettuce, our sweet peppers, the basil, the sage behind there, and then over in the back is the lemon balm. So as the plants grow taller, I have to lift this up. So that's why I'm not sure how well the peppermint's going to do, because usually when it's starting, when you start growing them, the light has to be lower. So we'll see if the peppermint, catches up. If not, I'll just start over with that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pull some of these out and trim the roots because they're very long. And that's just to give you an idea of how long the roots are. So we're going to leave about, 2 inches. So I'm just going to shorten them up a little bit so they don't clog the pump up. And this is our tomato plant. So I'm just going to trim the ends of that and take a look at the rest of them. And that's all nice and trim. And then I'm just going to put it back in. And here's our lettuce plant. And look how long that root is. That's crazy. And now that's nice and trim as well. And there's our basil. And there's our roots. So you just want to trim the roots like, once a month or just when you feel like they need them, just to keep the plants healthy and not getting tangled and messing up the pump. All right, so now it's back in its place with the lights on. The water is fresh and clean. The roots have been trimmed. And that basil is looking very tempting. I might start snagging a few leaves and start cooking with it. So if you've been thinking about getting a hydroponic system, the Grow is a great product. I mean, these plants have grown beautifully. You can also take them out and replant them into their own pots or in the ground, or you can just keep them as is and just pick off what you need. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and comment.